What are you laughing about?
I don't know, we get some amazing comments on the videos. Some of them are just so good. We haven't done this in a little while, so maybe we've been getting an amazing response on the videos for Delos 2.0.
Oh, okay.
And just some of the comments in general are amazing. Like, okay, so this one is by MR Abrasive 51. This actually doesn't have anything to do with Delos 2.0.
Okay.
But he says, you were a young single man in your early videos. What happened?
What?
Huh?
What does that even
I
mean?
don't know, life just happened.
That's amazing. What happened?
I mean, got a wife, got a daughter, got family, got some gray hairs, you know. It happens to the best of us. We're all getting older, it's only we that are able to choose what we do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on your travels, if the world went to total crap, you were at sea, and you had to hold up and wait it out to survive, where would you go where you can easily live off the sea and land from Delos with little to no outside interference? That's from Dustin Finlinson, 3203. What would your choice be? Where would your bug out island be?
Wow.
I know what mine is.
Probably like Chagos?
Chagos?
I
Yeah?
don't know. It's like so far away from anything.
Yeah, but it's on the other side of the world. What if it happened right now?
Oh, right now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would you still go to Chagos?
No. No, I mean, then you would probably go to like Tahane or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
French Polynesia,
Yeah.
Tuamotus. Because then you could run up to the Marquesas, you could get a bunch of fruit, and then you could fish.
But if the world went to shit.
The plants are still going to grow, the trees are going to be full of palm
Oh.
There's still going to be mangoes.
There's gonna be a lot of boat in the tomatoes though.
But there's a lot of Tuamotus. I would say Tuamotus because they're amazing, they're well protected, they're good anchorages. We can eat a lot of coconuts. We could eat a lot of crabs. The fish has cinquitera, but we could go outside the reef.
Yeah.
We could sail back and forth for trolling for like tuna and wahoo and mahi. We would just run out of fresh veggies and fruit very soon.
Yeah.
But we'd have plenty of moonshine. So,
That's a good question though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere between Marquesas and Tuamotus, just bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The next one, maybe that is a Delos 2.0 question. Oh, that's a good one. Mr. Shunu1.
Okay.
Just a note, in the new design, if Maggie is mounted on the platform, you won't have access to the life raft should you need it, which is an important design consideration to think, because if you look at the aft bulwark of Delos 2.0, we've got a lot of cool stuff in there. We have the dive compressor, which I'm very excited about.
tanks.
The dive tanks are right next to that, and the dive gear is right next to that, and then we have the life raft, and then we have dinghy fuel storage on the side. And so if Maggie is in place and the life raft is stored like this, how would we get the life raft out?
Well, we just have to make sure that we can get it out.
Yeah, well, obviously.
I'm not sure exactly how tight. It depends on how the mount will end up.
Yeah.
Like we haven't completely designed that whole system yet.
I haven't measured the distance between Maggie and the life raft needs about less than half meter clearance, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is I'm really thinking about putting Maggie on slidable mounts so that, you know, normally we're going to lift her up off the rooftop.
Yeah.
And then one thought is to have mounts that would slide out on tracks, because you can buy those pretty standard for like the back of power boats for like loading jet skis and stuff on. So the mounts slide out, you'd lower Maggie on top, and then the mounts slide in. So in that case, we could just untie the lines that are holding Maggie in and slide her out. That would give us at least a meter space, the full platform width. Or if it doesn't work, we just put the life raft somewhere else. There's a lot of places to put the life raft, and then we have even more storage in the back. Either way, I think it's good to think about. But I think it's very doable. Next one is, when are you sailing to Australia, and when are you selling Delos, and for how much?
Well, none of these things are decided yet.
I don't know, and I don't know.
I mean, we're definitely keeping Delos, I feel like, for probably the duration of the build of the boat. We still want to be able to go and sail. I mean, now we're gonna go and build for a couple of months, and then 10 months, I guess, from now,
Yeah,
we're gonna come
9
back
months.
here and just like continue sailing towards Australia. I'm not sure if we're gonna sail all the way there. There's
Yeah.
other options, like you can stop in Fiji for a while. We can leave her there while we go and then fly back and forth. I don't know.
I
There's
think-
so many options.
I mean, luckily, because we're building the boat mostly ourselves as we go, we don't have to like we're paying for things as we go,
Yeah.
which means we can afford to keep Delos, which is super nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll continue to sail her westward towards Australia and try and time it so that as we get into Australian waters,
You can raft them
we
up.
can raft them up. We move our ship from one boat to the other and just off we go.
That would be so cool.
And then we'll think about sailing Delos. But you know, like Delos is like a thoroughbred racehorse. Like she shouldn't be like tied up to a dock. She should be out like sailing, cruising, exploring the oceans, and taking, you know, another couple or another family around living their dreams. And I think that would make me super happy.
Yeah.
So we'll find the right person and we'll work it out. So that's the plan. She will not sit at a dock,
I hope not.
getting rusting away or whatever. Okay, this is a cool one. Have built-in video cameras fitted around the boat for your future vlogging, which will allow you to depend less on hand cameras, batteries, etc. Maybe a rotating mast cam or a bow cam to help you navigate tight places. So this is actually something I've been thinking about, which I think is a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
And you know how you always try and film the dolphins, right? But it's like you have the GoPro on the end of the stick, and like every time you put the stick in the water, the current grabs it and like rips it back. So since we have an entire welding shop at our disposal, I was thinking about doing it a little bit better with a way to mount either a GoPro or a housing somewhere on the bow that can either go up and down on a track, or maybe it's mounted in a way that is, you know, still structurally sound and safe, keeps water out in the event it got, you know, smashed or something.
Yeah.
But then it's a wired camera that you can actually like turn it around, which would be kind of cool. When we're sailing, you could see, you know, into the ocean. When you're at anchor, you could maybe look around at the reef. I don't know that I use it so much for navigation, but it would be cool, like, to look at the fishies when we're sitting here.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, and then you could do the same thing with like a mast cam or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I love the
interesting.
dolphin one. I'd really feel like it would
Dolphin
be cool
cam?
to
Okay, I'm gonna get
figure
you a
that
dolphin cam, Kaz. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. That's on the list. That's on the short list of Brian's crazy boat project ideas. Why don't you build a hydraulic platform? No davits needed at all. Easy access and a lift for diving, loading, etc. So similar to what our friends have a Lagoon 50,
okay.
and on the back of it, it's got this big hydraulic platform that goes, and then they put the ding in and goes,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool concept. The things that pop into my mind are weight and complexity. And so, you know, you're adding another hydraulic ram, you're adding all the components that make it movable. You need to make sure that it's strong and can handle waves, and the weight of the dinghy when it's filled with water. You're adding a hydraulic pump or a winch or something. And I don't know, it just seems like it's adding a lot of moving pieces to what, like, the convenience that we're going to lose is basically, instead of pushing a button and lowering an entire platform, we're pushing a button with an electric winch and raising the dinghy, and then we can't lower the platform itself. But then we have the sugar scoops on the back, which are already this high out of the water, so we already have like a really nice place to get in and out of the water,
Like
and to
from
set up
diving,
dive gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I guess it just comes down to complexity and cost and weight and reducing moving pieces. Okay, I think
Those are good
those are the
comments.
ones that just popped up. There were so many comments.
Yeah.
So thank you for leaving the comments.
Yeah.
I always read through all of them. I often don't have time to reply to all of them. Sorry about that. But if you do comment, we really appreciate it and know that it is being read, and that for the most part, I get a lot of entertainment out of it.
I know, we usually do this, but Brian like sits and he just like reads out.
I like to do it in my morning, like I'm having my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Just like, tick, tick, tick,
It's great.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
Anyway, thank you for watching
Yeah.
all the way to the end. If you're here,
like Brian said, thank you so much for watching this week's video. It was a little different one this week, but make sure you tune in next Friday because it's gonna be our first Delos 2.0 boat build video. A lot of excitement, a lot of new things happening. So make sure you tune in next Friday, and here's a little sneak peek for you.
Can you see it?
We just couldn't wait. We just went from the plane straight to the boat, and it's right here.
It's right there behind this door.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Look at that.
Like 6.5 days of cutting or 13 shifts. So big job.
And then they started building frames.
So cool. I mean, it's just flying along, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Changing countries,
Yeah.
changing houses, starting a new job, trying to get your kid into daycare, like
Yeah.
opening bank accounts, doing doctor's visits, shots, moving into a house. I don't know,
It's been quite a lot.
5 in the morning.
G'day, Dan.
G'day, g'day.
You ready to go to the office?
Certainly are, mate. Let's get into it.
Boat, buddy.
So Brian, straight in, straight onto the welder.
Let's do it. And my job was basically human ballast. All right, center. I'm the apprentice to the apprentice.
Found a few problems in the plant. I don't know, I would probably call that a bug.
Half a mil. Hey, scuff it.
That's rocket ship work there, huh?
That's it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, eat your heart out to come build your rocket.